Man has always had a tendency to lean towards repetition, and we, for the most part, repeat the same acceptance. There have been nights that have been stained by the crying of angels, and days that have succumbed to the darkness of man. If we are bound by nature to repeat, then we will be bound by society to accept. If it is the will of one man to uphold a cycle, then it is the will of another to end it. Elie Wiesel was one of many individuals who witnessed the debasing of human nature. As a survivor of the Holocaust, he underwent the atrocities committed by the Nazi Party. For years, their actions remained without justice. For this reason, Wiesel dedicated his life to humanitarian efforts. Through political activism, he became a prominent and outspoken individual against the suffering of all people. Not only did he write many novels based upon his experiences, but he was also an advocate, protesting against the South African apartheid in the 1970s and delivering food to starving Cambodians in 1980. He later went on to win the Nobel Peace Prize in 1986 as a messenger to mankind. Today, many of us go about our lives forgetting that events such as the Holocaust and numerous other genocides have occurred only recently, as opposed to the span of human history. This is why Wiesel placed a tremendous importance upon the idea of resisting silence during times of human anguish, to not only recognize one's own ignorance, but also become active in the effort to confront global injustice. Genocide itself is an act that violates more than half of the articles set forth by the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. These include the right to be born equal and free, the right to not be discriminated against, the right to not be subjected to slavery nor torture, the right to personal possessions, the right to marriage and family, and the freedom of thought and expression.
Genocide has to be one of the saddest events that can happen in human history. It's something much more sinister than just the attempt to kill an entire group of people. Let's take, for example, the Holocaust. When you hear a statistic like 6 million Jews were killed, it's hard to comprehend the idea that those were 6 million individual human beings with hopes, dreams, plans for the future, loved ones, children that never had the chance to grow up. It's ineffable, the thought. I can't even begin to imagine the feeling it must be to have your right to life completely taken away from you. To one day, live a happy, normal life, go to school, have co-workers, colleagues, and then the next day you're stripped of all identity. You're not a person anymore. You're just another thing to them.
Unfortunately, genocide is still an entity that remains prevalent, pulsating within the veins of human immorality. Most of us have come to overlook the oppressions of North Korea, and we have come to forget the massacres of Darfur. And with each passing day, we are bound to repeat the same behaviors with Yemen and Syria. Wiesel's life has taught us that there is much human suffering that goes unnoticed. It is therefore imperative that we aspire to Wiesel's call to humanity, that we do not succumb to ignorance, that we edify the past in order to construct the future.